3, 2, and 1. Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi on this cool, very fall-like Friday, and I'll be the first to say it. Personally, I got no complaints about this. It is, to me, pretty delightful outside. I know some of you might take exception with that, but no matter if you like the sunnier, warmer weather, you're going to get plenty of that over the next few days. But for now, some of us cooler weather likers will enjoy this cloud cover. This is a view from the top of Lookout Mountain. Can't see a whole lot with a very shallow layer of clouds that's enveloping eastern Colorado. And how shallow is it? If you go to the other side of the Continental Divide, well, this is what it looks like. You get that sunshine back out as soon as you get back over, say, kind of, if you're going on I-70, as soon as you get to probably about Idaho Springs, you'll look at that sunshine out there. You don't have to head too far to find the sun. I'll show it to you on the satellite picture in just a second. But in terms of that overall forecast, today is really the only day where we've got a whole lot of cloud cover over the next little while. Warms back up tomorrow, and then we get another cool down next week, but it doesn't look to be that substantial. But what was maybe a bit more substantial this morning dropped down to 38 degrees. That made it our coldest temperature since May the 21st. So our coldest day in 139 days this morning here in Denver, with that low temperature of at least 38. Probably got a little bit colder, might have nicked 37 degrees. We'll get that final number from the Weather Service in the next little while, but it hasn't warmed up a whole lot from that 38 degree number thanks to all that cloud cover. And you can see just that distinct cloud cover along and east of the Continental Divide. That's where we're socked in with all these clouds. And then you get on up in elevation, even on up into the Palmer Divide, kind of the highest peaks there of the Palmer Divide. Probably a bit of sunshine starting to poke on through. But in Denver, through most of the lower elevations, it remains on the cloudy side. And by the way, storm system off to our south remains out that way. It's a system off to, that came from our north that's providing us some of that cooler, cloudier weather, and we're getting some of that light upslope flow, and that's leading to some of that cloud cover for our day today. Now, in terms of those rain chances, I don't think we're looking at anything too substantial for today. A better chance for showers and storms will probably be south and east of Denver for today, this afternoon, and actually got a better chance for showers after dark tonight. That's going to be with a little push, a mid-level push of moisture that's going to arrive later on this evening. That'll give us a better chance for a shower, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two east of DIA and kind of east of Greeley as well. Meantime, in southern Colorado, we get some showers that pop on up and maybe rumble of thunder or two as well in far southern reaches of our state. And then we kind of dry things up for tomorrow. It's going to stay on the dry side for the foreseeable future. Another closer look in here at the forecast. Again, this afternoon, we should see some peaks of sun here in Denver. We'll gradually see that sun start to poke on out around noon, 1 o'clock or so. And then that'll give way to some of that brief sunshine before we get some of those mid to high level clouds that work their way back to the picture later on this afternoon. And those could give way to a few showers. Again, better chance to head just east of Denver for some of those later on this evening, most likely after dark tonight. We'll have the best chance of seeing some of those showers out by eastern Arapahoe and Adams counties, up by Byers, Fort Morgan, Byers, Deer Trail, those areas as you head east on I-70. Temperatures, obviously a big story right now, just 40 degrees for us at DIA. Now, there's a chance we don't break out of this cloud cover. If we don't, we're going to struggle to hit maybe even 45 degrees here in Denver. This cloud cover is keeping it very, very cool. This is something you don't often see. You go up in elevation and it is much warmer for our day today. Right now, Kremling at almost 8,000 feet in elevation, normally a cool spot in the state, 10 degrees warmer than Denver. Leadville at 10,000 feet in elevation, about double the elevation of Denver, is about 10 degrees warmer. And again, some fairly drastic numbers. Grand Junction on the western slope, 25 degrees warmer at this hour, despite only 1,000 feet in elevation difference between Denver and Grand Junction. So for today, we're knocking back these temperatures. Now, that temperature forecast could flex a bit. If we get, say, 2-3 hours worth of decent sunshine, we could hit 60 here in Denver. If we don't get any sunshine, or just maybe a brief period of it, we may not hit 50. So that high temperature of 55, I'll just tell you, just transparently, that is a very tricky forecast that may go one way or the other. I think we're going to kind of split the difference here and say we get maybe a brief period of sunshine for an hour or so. And that should get us up into the mid-50s, but again, don't be surprised if we don't get to 55 here this afternoon if we don't get any sunshine or very limited sunshine for today. Same goes for eastern Colorado. Again, these forecasts, just keep in mind, if we get that sunshine, we could easily hit 60. If we don't, we're going to stay stuck, maybe even in the upper 40s for today. So just keep in mind that those high temperatures for today on the eastern plains going to be very, very challenging. Now, tomorrow, much easier. It'll be in the upper 60s, around 70 for us in Denver. Mostly sunny skies could have a stray shower. I think we're going to stay dry tomorrow. Don't plan around that stray shower chance. Mountains 50s, 60s, eastern plains 60s and 70s for our day tomorrow. And in terms of those shower and storm chances for tomorrow, again, we should see maybe something south, along and south of the Palmer Divide. And that would be pretty much it, but I think we're going to stay dry for our day tomorrow. And it's going to stay dry for the foreseeable future here, folks. Look at the 7-day forecast. A lot of sunshine, a lot of 60s, a lot of 70s. Then we briefly cool on down mid to end part of next week before a ridge of high pressure builds back in and then allow those temperatures to spike back to near 70 degrees by next Friday. So on the warm side, and by the way, this is coming up on what is typically a cool stretch for this time of year. Normally by this time of year, we're starting to talk about our first measurable snowfall. We had that chance. It looked like some of the computer forecast models were indicating a chance for some measurable snowfall for the mid to end part of next week. That has long gone away, but just as a heads up that you should probably still blow out those sprinklers, get that done. Today's low temperature in the upper 30s, probably a good reminder that we're getting close to that season to where we're talking about those temperatures dropping down in the low 30s. Our average measurable snowfall, as mentioned, is about 10 days away, 11 days away exactly. And so it's worth noting that, again, this is the time of year, and especially with that very nice forecast, probably a good time to get those sprinklers taken care of for the upcoming winter season. Hopefully that answers some of your questions about the upcoming weather forecast and also today's weather as well. If not, meteorologist Keely Chalmers is in for 9 News at noon today. And then we've got Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4 and 5. And Meteorologist Danielle Grant will have an update for you at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Friday and a great rest of your weekend.